My name's Thomas, and I'm joined by...
Crickets are chirping, and my name is Alex.
And we're watching Creep 2. You've seen the first one, haven't you?
Yeah, I loved it.
Yeah. So I've seen this. I'm excited for you to see it for the first time because I think it takes it in a very different direction.
Okay. Is this going to explain why there's a camera in the box? Because that's one of the things that did annoy me about the original, that sometimes it was like...
Why is there a camera there?
Yeah.
And that's always the challenge of the found footage genre, isn't it? It's like, why are you filming this?
and it's almost because like the film got it right 80% of the time.
Yeah.
The 20% really stuck out.
Ooh,
oh,
sugar.
Oh,
it's him.
Great reveal. I could watch Mark Duplass make 10 of these.
He's
so good. Oh, so the cameras, he's put the camera in there. Got it.
Hello.
He is very unassuming, isn't he? But there's a weirdness to him.
So
He's
weird.
Kind of clingy.
Yeah. And like an unnerving vulnerability.
Yeah.
Which is particularly unnerving because he's not being vulnerable whatsoever.
Yeah.
He's using vulnerability as a weapon. How much is this about lonely young men?
Wow.
But then I think, isn't the protagonist a woman in this?
Mm.
Oh no, but it's about lonely young men, right? I saw the trailer.
Interesting.
Don't watch trailers, kids. They ruin so much.
Especially horror.
We hang out sometimes. Come on, Dave.
Oh, it's Mark Duplass. Intense male relationships, vulnerable male relationships are quite rare.
Yeah, it's because we have an impoverished view of friendship, isn't it?
Yeah.
So like this sort of thing, if it
exactly.
was genuine, is actually what we need more of.
Yeah.
Like,
Couldn't
two
agree
men
more.
Actually having a heart to heart, but
we
because
can't.
it's not used to it, it looks creepy.
Yeah, and it's the film's called Creep.
Oh.
It's kind of weird, isn't it, when you see like
And then he just
gore
rubs
effects
his
on a
head.
fantasy. Damn it, like a child.
Look what you made me do.
I don't know if I believe this is a moment of pathos, because
He is alone with the camera though.
yeah, but Creep 1 was so good at you thinking you'd seen a genuine moment of pathos, and then you were like, wait, actually, was that all part of the...
Right. Yeah.
But you don't know. It may have been genuine pathos, and that's what I loved about it so much, I think. Oh, this is such like a Vice documentary on YouTube.
Yeah. She's a bit like Louis Theroux in a way.
Right.
Weird weekends, just going round.
This feels really real, and like the music they put in as well. This is really, really well done. Like found footage as like really leaning into
You never know who you might meet on the next
YouTube journalism.
encounter.
Yeah.
Feels like a new thing.
Yeah, look,
Right.
we've even got a YouTube
Yeah.
there.
Baby, don't say a word. I am starting to realize why nobody's watching.
No one's watching.
It's fascinating the layers of found footage here because you've got her YouTube channel, which is like kind of trying to be authentic and meeting weird people. Now we've got her reflecting on her YouTube channel. So is this genuinely her? But you're always playing to the camera in some ways, aren't you? Are you ever getting the authentic person across the camera?
Oh, it's bang on. Yeah, and is it exactly the thing we were saying earlier about is that pathos or is that part of the manipulation?
Yeah.
Because as a camera, you can never be truly...
Yeah, and that's kind of true
authentic.
for everyone, isn't it? Not just
Yeah.
the creep.
No, yeah. TTG. We're all the creep.
Yes. Oh, that's
Yeah,
just such a
here we
good
go.
way in, isn't it?
Yeah, so good. Honesty and emotional bravery a must.
The promise of
Good.
like an intimate encounter with a stranger is quite interesting, isn't it, as a cultural phenomenon? I mean, an obvious thing is dating apps and how they've kind of blown up. But also even things like Omegle. Have you heard of that site? Where you can just talk to random strangers and it will just... There's something weirdly appealing with that, just meeting someone who you wouldn't have ever been brought into contact with before. Something that can be very positive about that, but also something terrifying.
There's a real arrogance to her doing this.
Yeah.
Like a real like need for self-validation.
Is she
I imagine
feeding off
Exactly.
These people.
Them being pathetic and her being the saviour.
I love how the doors just open.
Yeah, really good.
He doesn't come to the door.
No, it's just such a like.
And his house is stunning as well.
Yeah. So good. I love that. What?
He looks like Jonathan Peugeot, doesn't he?
Yeah, he does. Oh, he's so.
Sarah.
I love that he's taking on the name of the last guy from Creep One.
That's your real name.
Yeah.
His
Right now, and I'm trying to save up.
understanding of
You don't do
human
anything.
behaviour and then being able to replicate it so closely and intelligently and purposefully is like
What about you? What's your story?
quite terrifying when he's clearly
My
also
story,
like deeply perverted.
I am what is
Yeah.
known as a serial killer. Love that nomenclature. I sort of consider myself
So
a
this
murderer,
is
but
fascinating.
Yeah,
isn't it? 'Cause
okay.
we
numbers
know
are such that
this is
I'm
all
not
true.
classified as
The
a
DI is back.
What is
I am
she
a killer.
thinking
I
at
have
this
killed
point?
39 people. This is something that I love to do. It's the greatest job in the world. It's what I'm built to do.
That's what I'm built to do.
But I'm also turning 40 this year, which is like
The way he
Midlife
turns,
crisis.
yeah, it's all the millennial
It's making
millennial
me
angst.
lengthy and I
Oh,
will
see, the
be
layers are just so hard to pass. The layers of pathos are just like.
put a knife. It's like a job.
When
And
it's a
it makes me
duty and not a
really
joy.
Oh man,
fucking sad.
God.
it's uniquely millennial horror. This, isn't it?
I read an article by the great Francis Ford Coppola.
Look at this
He
storytelling.
said
Look at the way it
something
goes
that
down
blew
and then up.
my mind. He said, "I have not made an original film since The Conversation in 1974. I am not sure I am capable of it, but I really want to keep trying." And man, that hit me like a sack of bricks. Here is a man who is in the middle of his artistic decline. Is
It's
he
a
running from it? No,
serial
he's
killer.
embracing it.
Testimony.
So I'm like, what am I doing trying to make the films that I used to make? What if I
Oh, here we go.
embrace
Yeah.
where I'm at right now?
Oh, the
What if I
layers,
make
Thomas. Oh, the
a
layers.
documentary? And this is where you come in. A documentary about the world's most prolific serial killer that no one knows about. A documentary that you and I make here tonight. Now look, I realize I'm throwing a lot at you. You haven't even had a chance to finish your green smoothie. So if you want to bail, I completely understand. Take your money. No hard feelings. I understand.
That's such a powerful trope, isn't it? Of the like, you could have left at any time, and the leaving the door open. But like, Creep One did that so well. We had so many opportunities to leave, and
I won't kill you over the next 24 hours. That would be counterproductive. And secondly,
and this is
I
just
will give
twisting
you
that
the
particular
biggest
knife even
access into
better.
my soul.
The weird thing is, I kind of
He
believe
does,
everything
yeah.
he's saying at this stage.
Yeah.
Because why would he kill her if he wants her to make this film?
Yeah.
Well, does he want her to make this film? I think he does, because he is a filmmaker. I think that's the interesting
Right,
thing about him.
right.
He sees himself as a kind of auteur.
Yeah.
You get that a bit in the first one. He's hiring a DP,
Yeah.
director of photography, and he's done it
Yeah.
again.
And he lays out the vision at the start, just like he's laying out the vision now.
Yeah, but in the first one he
Like any great
lies, doesn't he?
director.
He's like, I want this to be a film for my son. That's all nonsense, isn't it? I feel like
But this is just-
entirely sincere, but deeply messed up. You just think, how many times has he watched this?
Yeah. He's my friend. Let's just like.
Still in the present tense. Oh.
I might look like the big bad wolf, but I'm as friendly as a rabbit.
With the turn.
I love that he lives a really healthy lifestyle as well with these green smoothies, and it's a bit like American Psycho, you know.
Yeah.
Having that health routine. What is he doing? Oh, this bit is weird.
Oh, it's the cringe of vulnerability.
Yeah.
My turn now? Sure.
Whoa. There are
weird.
two creeps.
Yeah.
Got your frame?
Are they the same?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. It's a classic.
It's
Oh.
interesting how he zooms in on her face at this point.
Oh, does it? Oh, wow, yeah. Oh, wow, that is interesting.
Sarah, every red flag you have has been raised. Everything you've ever wanted in a subject.
Oh,
Chase
Wow.
Oh, what a strong opening act.
This is just
What a
that's
strong
compelling, isn't it?
opening act. Yeah,
Yeah.
really good.
So she
Are you ready to go?
Wow, tough nut to crack.
So good.
I like this. The fact that he
so
he
good.
pulls all his tricks, but she seems unfazed.
Like
Oh,
you
this-
might be
that's,
at a bad sequel.
patterns.
Yeah.
That's just playing the same beats.
Patches. All right, we should get going. We are losing light.
The joke, like,
He's just
and there's the look afterwards.
Where did you grow up?
So where did you grow up?
Do you believe
Oh,
in
it's so
God?
good.
It could
Oh, this is
complicate
interesting.
God with a little G.
Still haven't answered my question about
Netflix.
my math.
Do you believe in God? It could complicate what you do for a living, and he avoids the question.
For this interview,
But
can we
she's
just-
taking the control.
let's
Yeah.
just save it.
She's like,
Okay.
she's taking the narrative.
Yeah.
Because
Okay.
she's... Okay, so that's what's interesting, right? In the first one,
You're gonna love it.
Aaron's a very
He-
passive.
Yeah.
The plot happens to him, and it's all the creep. But now, like,
That's the water.
we've got a proactive protagonist. There's something, I wonder if there's something about Bastard Sex as well, that she's a woman in the first, like, there's a fraternity in the man thing in the half, but she's like, nope,
Yeah, and it's
I'm
interesting.
going to match you, and I'm going to compliment you, and I'm going to, I'm going to be your reflection in a complimentary and a dividing way.
Yeah,
Totally.
yeah.
Sorry, Thomas, I
No,
cut
no,
you
you're
off.
right. Because in the beginning of this one, you have another man friend being killed very
Yeah.
easily, and there's a slight sense of here we go again.
Yeah.
And then now it's a woman. The dynamic has shifted. That's very interesting, isn't it? Sorry. I don't know what I said there.
Creep.
He's
That's so
pretending that's
good.
where the water height is. And he's gonna have
I
to
missed that.
He's going to have to CGI it in. Shall I rewind that?
That's
bit?
really good.
Oh,
That's
actually, no,
really,
that's
really
pretty
good.
much it.
I like how he's sort of like a spiritual, like, guru type in this one.
Yeah,
With the man
cross-legged.
bun and the cross-legged and the all black.
December 1978. It was the last days of disco. The Cold War was just heating up. But in a small town... Little bird right there. Hold on. December 19...
I love that. The idea of creation thwarting him.
Yeah, it's that is really good.
Try it one more time. One more time. I want you to do it. I want you
You're
to
right.
do
He
it.
could make 10 of these.
I'd be so up for it, yeah. Like, they shouldn't be any longer than 80 minutes, but
Yeah.
It was December.
A small dose of
1978.
Duplass.
yeah, a small
It was the
dose
last
of
days
Duplass.
disco. The Cold War was
Aaron, I'm
just...
getting a lot of shadow on your face.
Oh,
So good.
you could see.
Oh,
he's
yes.
just cracking inside.
Oh, he's got a ring.
Yeah, at this point, she's just finding him a little bit pathetic, isn't she?
Yeah. She's like, not used to collaboration, and it does just look like a child throwing his toys out the pram, which I bet a lot of auteur directors look like
Yeah.
sometimes.
Oh,
Aaron,
for
is it
sure.
you?
I find these bits weirdly intense because
Yeah.
each time the camera turns,
It could
is
be
he there? Is he not there? Both possibilities are equally terrifying. in a
Yeah.
way.
And you're just so aware it could be just
Aaron?
off frame in a
Yeah.
way you won't be when it's cut together normally. Yeah, 100%. This is why first-person horror games are so terrifying, because you're the one in control, which is almost...
I mean, other than
More
the fact
creep, please.
that he is a serial killer, he is just the most
I love him.
hilarious
I
person.
love him. Is that bad? Oh, she's brilliant as well. She's brilliant.
Yeah, the slight kind of nurturing.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Jam music.
What's jam music? Oh, like from a jam.
Yeah, I don't think it's like Hartley's.
So easy to go down there and provoke him and get the material I need.
Get the material I need.
Oh, yeah.
Wow,
so there's a
she...
cynical side. to
there
her,
are two
isn't
creeps.
there? Yeah.
They should have put the 2 in front of the creep.
That's genius. Yeah.
No, it's very on the nose. I hate myself for saying it. Children must have adult supervision. That's really fun.
Oh, I didn't notice that.
That's really good.
That's so good.
That's really, really good.
So he's given her so many opportunities to leave. He's even asking her
Yeah.
to, and she won't leave.
No.
Turn that song back on.
Why?
Because I said so.
Tell me why.
Because it's my favorite song in the world, and I need it because I love it.
I
What do
love
you
that.
love about it?
I
need it
maybe because
I
it does
love
more
it.
with one instrumental slow jam than any poet with any quill has ever done in the history of time ever.
He's a video essayist.
I've never heard of it before.
Well, you wouldn't have. Barely anyone has. It's from an unknown band from a long time ago. I was 15 years old, but I could pass for 18 because I was big for my age. I could go to bars and see live music. An obscure band came to town. There weren't more than 7
The
of
way
us
he's
in the
like
audience, but I was
drifting,
mesmerized.
floating,
In
like
particular
sway.
by a
That's it,
song
is sway,
called
isn't it?
Sarah Loves Her Juicy Fruit. It transported me. That night, I went out of town
And
with
her
the
name
band,
is Sarah.
and I partied with them
Yep.
where they were staying.
For those at the back.
Yes.
I felt like I belonged
Basil
for the first
exposition.
time.
Jeez.
But of
Whoa.
he gave me a shovel. He forced me to dig my own grave.
He's now being
He
Aaron.
tied my hands behind my back and informed me
Mm.
that he would be burying me alive within the next couple of minutes. And I remember thinking to myself, I should be feeling really badly about this man. But he was magnetic. I loved him. He was smart. He was commanding. He was wonderful in
This
all
way
ways.
is-
He only had one
this way
flaw.
really is good.
He was not very good at tying knots. And as I loosened my hands from behind my back, and I wrapped them around his neck, overpowering him with my size, I drained his life with my hands. And I thought to myself, well, this is my destiny.
Crumbs.
Sarah loves her juicy fruit, and Aaron loves to kill.
But this is interesting, isn't it? That he's framing his first kill as a transcendent experience. And so everything he's been doing since has been trying to attain that. Like an addiction, I guess.
It doesn't satisfy, so you just
Yeah.
so good.
That is terrifying. Bet you
Is she
didn't
wearing a
see
face
that
mask?
coming.
Yeah.
Oh,
How do you feel?
that background is really fascinating. It's very realistic, isn't it?
Yeah, it's very fairy tale, isn't it? Because he's always telling made up stories, but you're like all fairy tales, they're rooted in something.
And his house is almost a mansion, isn't it? It's incredibly grand.
Yeah. Why serial killers always,
They said you wouldn't
you know,
tell me within the
in
next
the
24 hours.
the financial elite? You know, vampires are always rich because it's an oppressor-oppressed narrative.
That's interesting.
Is it a similar thing? I don't know.
She always seems more uncomfortable when he's turned the camera on her.
If you're the one in control, because you're the one framing the narrative. So again, that's what it is. It's the wrestling of the narrative.
Mm.
And when you've got the camera, you are the ultimate, framer of it. You literally put it where you want it. And you could only do this in film, which I love. Because film is the ultimate subjective medium because of where you put the camera is so significant.
It's sort of about the
Very
moral
vampire.
quandary that journalists face, how they sometimes
That
have to
journalist
lie and
face.
ingratiate themselves with their subjects, These little flattery, a little flirtation to get the material they
Love
need.
him.
And
I love
I
him.
thought about it while I was watching a little show called Encounters.
Oh,
He's onto
another.
How the tables have turned.
The
You knew about
eyebrow.
that, did you?
Yeah, the eyebrow.
Know a lot of things, Sarah.
Oh,
It's so
is
good,
he
isn't it?
regaining control?
Yeah, this is so good.
I'm going to ask you a question, and I want you to answer me honestly.
It's when the child starts acting like a parent.
Do you believe that I'm a serial killer?
This is fascinating.
No.
Good. Thank you for your honesty. Why not?
Well, first off, the stories you've been telling are ridiculous.
Okay.
And, like, what's up with this whole documentary? Like, if you were a killer, why would you invite me into your home and have me film you confess all the details of your murders? Like, what would stop me from going to the police with this?
It's a fair point. It is a moot point, however. You won't go to the police tomorrow.
Because I'll stop you.
Because tomorrow, I'll be dead.
Oh, hello.
Because tonight, you are going to kill me.
Yeah, there's a screenwriting thing about, like, if you're struggling,
Yeah.
if you're stuck, write what would be the most unexpected thing to happen next.
Right.
Just try that and write that scene to get you out of a rut. And it feels like this really ran with that, and I love it.
Yeah.
I think that's an intoxicating thing. Girl. Yep.
Consider it an assisted suicide. It's totally cool.
Oh, such good drama, isn't it?
Yeah, because in the internal logic of the film, I can believe she will do it.
Yeah.
I think the filmmakers are brave enough.
Oh gosh.
Oh gosh.
Okay, so this is a much better idea. I should have thought of this in the first place. This is essentially going to turn this into a passive endeavor. What I'm going to do, I'm going to jump off the ledge, and unless you come and save me, I'm going to die.
Can you breathe? Aaron?
I love that it cuts to black there.
Yeah.
So she was genuinely spooked by that, wasn't she?
Yeah, yeah.
And I think that's
Agreed.
on the fact that she hasn't been taking him seriously.
Smooch.
The subtitles. She now looks genuinely terrified.
Yeah, she does.
Crawl in the grave and we die together like Romeo and Juliet. And somebody will find the tapes and release them, and it'll be like history together.
Yeah, he is trying to mythologize everything, isn't he?
Because he's using iconography. You know, you got the thing on the rock from the last film, and the locket from the first film.
Yeah.
The DVDs from the first film right at the start. The wolf head. There's a real... Oh, gosh. I don't want to overanalyze this scene.
Great episode.
Foreground, background, baby.
You should be really proud of yourself.
Oh. Oh. Smart. Oh, yeah. Yeah, brilliant.
Yeah.
Well, you're right. I think it is even better than the original. But you have to watch the original
You
to
do have
truly...
to. Yeah.
Which is not a bad thing, because the original's great.
Yeah. It takes it in a very interesting direction, doesn't it? Because it would be easy to just have another person come to his house and discover that he's a creep and then get killed. But in this case, it's someone coming, he's confessing and like, I want to make this documentary, I'm a serial killer. She's in control. And it makes it so much more interesting, isn't it?
So it's playing with the inherent artificiality of film.
Yeah.
And what happens when you put a camera? It's playing with the power of the subjective eye. That the power that the camera has, right? The voyeuristic lens to it. So like now you put in a protagonist who's actually very active and wrestles back, and the flipping of the camera, right? He's in control now. He's wrestling back the narrative and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Like it's playing with so many of the conventions like so cleverly and in such a fun way.
It's a human connection that develops and a friendship of sorts, but that makes it worse. You'd hope that in finding a friend, he'd be inspired and view humans differently. But it's like as this friendship develops, it seems to bring out the worst in both of them. It's kind of the wrong kind of union in a way.
They open up to each other in total vulnerability.
Yeah.
And we tend to speak now as if you open yourself up in total vulnerability, what you see is the good that's inside. You know the divine spark that's there, and we just it's hidden by the bad stuff. But actually, what we see is sin. we see the heart is deceitful above all things, and actually the digger you deep into yourself actually it's not you find the light, it's actually you find the darkness. And actually that's a far more biblical reality.
Yeah. Was it Genesis 6? God saw that the inclination of the human heart was only evil all of the time. I think this illustrates that quite well, and just the amplification.
Yeah.
But that for me makes it even more creepy, because there are ways in which she's quite nurturing towards him, and just like, this is almost what he needs. Almost, he almost needs someone to view him as a human being and show him care,
show him
even
a
though
dignity.
He doesn't deserve it. But then what's being offered is not redemptive. It's weird, isn't it? And then what do you make of the ending? The fact that they both survive, which is kind of an interesting twist. So
she goes from being a final girl to not.
Yeah, and he's kind of tracked her down and is now filming her, and the kind of tables have turned again.
It's a way to reclaim power over a situation he lost and reclaim control of a situation he lost control of, which, as we see, is like his greatest fear. I
think it was very interesting that you brought up some of the Adam and Eve stuff, because the more I think about it, the more that's definitely there throughout. You've got, it's not good for man to be alone. So this woman comes along to his house. They have to be, there's a moment where he wants them to be naked but not ashamed, which is interesting.
Yes, gosh.
So it's almost like trying to piece Eden back together, but
in the most perverted sort of way.
Yeah, and wanting to make that film out in the forest in creation, but kind of in spite of creation, so he's getting annoyed at the birds. And but also things like I've been reflecting on recently about how Adam names the animals, and he's kind of classifying things. Yeah. And is quite has quite a good grip on the material nature. It's good with his hands. And Eve seems to be more attuned to the more subtle elements of creation. So she hears the snake, which is interesting. You don't get a sense that Adam hears the snake. And so you see that here, in a sense that she, as a woman, is more attuned to him than he is.
Right. Yeah.
Oh, thanks, man. It's been a joy to get into this.
It's a Duplass in duo.